All right, here we are back again with individual WOD number 3, Spartacus. They did not think I would wear this shirt, so I had to break it out for today. CrossFit is magical. This is a little bit more complicated. We're going to go through each division, and then we will come back and go through all the standards for the workouts. We'll start off with the RX division. This will start off with 20 kettlebell cleans alternating. So kettlebell cleans. Then we're going to go to 15 pistols each leg alternating. Then we're going to go to 20 handstand push-ups, 30 burpee box jumps, 50 double unders, and then max muscle ups. And this is an 8-minute AMRAP. So you have 8 minutes to get through as much of this as possible. The more time you have at the end, the more muscle ups that you can get at the end. Okay? The Masters RX division is a little different on this. The only variation is at the beginning. Rather than kettlebell cleans, they're doing Russian kettlebell swings. And we'll talk about the weights for all the RX divisions in just a second. But everything else, 15 pistols each leg, 20 handstand push-ups, 30 burpee box jumps, 50 double unders, and then max muscle ups at the end as well. There is one other variation. We'll talk about this when we get down to the weights for the Masters female RX. So let's talk about weights for this. On the kettlebell, it is a 44 kilo kettlebell for men and a 28 kilo kettlebell for women. So a little bit heavier kettlebell here, cleaning up to the shoulders. I'm going to challenge you guys a little bit. On the RX Masters, men and women, it is a 44 kilo kettlebell on the Russian swings and a 28 kilo kettlebell on the Russian swings for women. And then for the guys, it's a 24-inch box. For the women, it's a 20-inch box. The only variation, box jump over, yeah. Burpee box jump over, sorry. And then for the handstand push-ups for the RX, Masters RX women, it is 1 ab mat. So they have one variation for the RX women, it'll be down to the floor. For the Masters RX women, it'll be to 1 ab mat, okay? And we'll go through these standards in just a second. Let's move down to the scaled division. We ran out a little bit of room trying to put this at the bottom. Scaled division will be 20 alternating kettlebell cleans, 25 burpee box jump overs, either 150 single unders or 50 double unders. In the scaled in the beginner division, they will have the option to do one or the other. So if you're a scaled athlete and you can do double unders, you'll get the choice to do 50 double unders rather than 150 singles. However, if you can't do them, you'll do 150 singles. The option will be up to you. However, with your judge, you'll have to choose at the beginning whether you're doing doubles or singles. You can't do one or the other. You've got to pick at the very beginning, let your judge know what you're doing, and go from there. Okay? So after the single unders or double unders, you're going to go to 50 wall balls, and then it's max pull-ups at the end. Okay? The male weight for this is a 28 kilo kettlebell for the clean. The female weight is a 14 kilo kettlebell for the clean. It's a 24-inch box for men, a 20-inch box for women. It's a 20-pound wall ball to the 10-foot line for guys, a 14-pound wall ball to the 9-foot for ladies. And then it'll be a standard pull-up. On the beginners, what they're going to do is a 25 Russian kettlebell swings, 25 burpee box jump overs, 150 singles or 50 double unders, and max wall balls at the end. So they'll finish up with wall balls. All right, for them, the male weight is 28 kilos. The women's weight is 14 kilograms, 24-inch box for guys, 20-inch box for women, 14-pound to the 10-foot for guys, 10-pound to the 9-foot for ladies. All right, let's talk about the standards for each of this. So we'll start off with the kettlebell clean. Slide this over to the side. All right, so this is an alternating clean. Starts off with the kettlebell on the ground, and it finishes with it sitting on his shoulder or in the front rack position here. So you can have it on his shoulder in the front rack, but it needs to be fully extended at the top.
Good.
Okay, a couple of key things here. One, you cannot drop the kettlebell from above your knees. So we can't go here and drop the kettlebell. There will be a 5 burpee penalty if you drop that kettlebell. A 44 kilo kettlebell, if it lands on its handle, will snap. Okay, so we got to make sure we get it back down in position, and with other people around, kettlebells flying around is where people get hurt. So you got to make sure it's below the knees when you drop it. It must touch the ground each time. So back down to the ground each time, back up to the shoulders, make sure you're at full extension. I guess a fault would be not standing up correctly or completely on this, so give it a try and try not to stand up all the way. You can do that. Good. So he's not extending the knees and hips in the top position. Okay? Questions about this movement? All right, let's talk about a Russian kettlebell swing. So On the Russian kettlebell swing, he's going to grab the kettlebell. What we're looking for is the standard where a piece of the kettlebell, that's a no rep. There we go. We're looking for a piece of the kettlebell to go above his head. That's all we're looking for. So look at the plane of his head, and one bit of the kettlebell has to go above it. Doesn't matter how much, just the top of his head is all we're looking at. Okay, not the chin, top of the head. If it turns up and the part of the kettlebell goes above your head, that's completely fine. Okay, we're looking for full extension. So right here, when he's swinging, just stand up for me. We're looking for his knees and hips extended. We don't want to see, bend your knees for me. A lot of people want to do this movement where their knees are bent. Okay, we're looking for extension at the top. Okay, as the kettlebell comes down, a piece of the kettlebell has to hit the plane of the middle of his body. So you can imagine the middle of his body running down through here. As long as it comes to here, he's fine. I don't know anybody who can stop a kettlebell swing right there and come back up with it, but if they can't do it in this competition. Okay? Questions about that movement? All right, let's move on to the pistols. How do you warmed up to do pistols? See? Okay, so on the pistols, these are alternating. He's going to come down, boom.
Good.
All right, as long as his hip goes below his knee, it's a good pistol. He can hold his foot. The only thing is the one leg that is not squatting, at least a piece of it has to remain in front of the other foot. Okay, so your leg can go out to the side, but it can't be behind you as you squat down. So as long as a piece of your foot is in front of the other one, you're fine. You have to come to full extension before you switch legs. So you can't switch with this leg still bent. Pretty standard pistol standards. Any questions about that? You guys are still digesting it, aren't you?
Foot on ground, opposite foot, touch.
Then it's in a row. Yeah, you can't. So as you're standing up, the question was, is as you stand up, if your foot touches the ground, that's a no rep, you have to start over. They have to be alternating. So if you miss on your left foot, you have to get your left foot before you go to your right foot.
You can't do them on a box.
No. I had to think through that. So the question was, can you do them on a box? No. 20 handstand push-ups. Standard on the handstand push-up. You have to start in the fully extended position, so arms locked, flipped upside down. Boop. Good. The rep is completed when his head touches the mat, and he comes back to a position where his arms are straight and locked out.
2, 3.
Kip off the wall. Try one where you kip off the wall.
Where you're not extended.
So a bad rep is where his feet come off the wall before his arms are extended. You must be fully extended at the top with the feet on the wall. Anything you can think of with that one? Okay. Questions about that?
Hand placement?
There'll be marks on the mats. It's about the standard for regionals, so you can't go out super wide and do a little thing. It'll be probably the same box that we use at regional. I think it's 32 inches. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But it'll be obvious whenever you flip upside down where your hands have to be.
There will be mats.
There will be mats. Yep. Yeah, your palms will have to stay in the mats, and I can clarify that, but the palms will have to stay in the mats. The fingers can go outside of them, but they must remain in that. If the palm hits the mat or the line, then they'll call you off the wall. So it'll be the same standards that'll come up for regionals. That's a really good question. All right, let's move to burpee box jumps. These will be box-facing burpees. So it's a burpee box jump over. So he'll do a burpee on this side. Boom, chest must hit the ground. Boop. Now, he can jump on the box and jump over. His rep is completed when he touches the ground on the other side. He can burpee. Boop. He can step on the box, but both feet must touch the top. Now here's the challenging one. He can jump clear over the box. Bam! As long as both feet travel over the box. Okay? The rep is completed once you get to the other side.
We're looking for the feet going on the outside. If they do, this is no rep.
So his feet have to travel over the box. Questions?
Does it show extension at the top of the box?
No. You do not have to extend at the top of the box. So he can jump up, legs bent, and then jump off the other side. He can jump sideways, actually, as long as he faces the...
He has to face the box.
He has to face the box on the burpee, but not on the jump. So he can jump sideways, like he can burpee, turn sideways, jump over the box, burpee.
If you miss the box jump, you have to redo the burpee.
No. So, yeah, you don't have to, if you bust on the box, then you just have to jump on the box again.
Obviously no rep in hand.
Yes. Yep. So if the hand touches the box, that's a no rep. So they'll just have to do the jump again, not the burpee. The rep is completed when both feet hit the other side.
You will not get partial credit for this if you run out of time and you're in the middle of the box jump. Again, it's complete when the feet are on the ground.
Double unders. I'll let you go through double unders, Bruce, and count and explain.
All right, so what we're looking for here, we're looking for the rope, obvious, to do two full rotations. If you're going in the rotations and you get to 10 and on 11, the judge is going to take one away. So go ahead and do a couple. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, miss 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, miss 9, 10. Go ahead. And then I would take one away. I was asking you to miss. Yeah. So he hit 10, missed, I took one away. So it'd be 10, 11, go back to 10. Questions on that one more time? Do about 6 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6. Questions?
Double unders.
Easy enough.
All right, let's talk about the wall balls, and then we'll come back to the pull-ups and muscle-ups. So wall balls. On the wall ball, let's go to the target. So you want targets. So with that, this means you have to hit the target. Okay, throwing the ball high enough but not hitting the target doesn't count. Now if you notice right there, Mason stood up with the ball first. He has to stand completely up before he starts the movement. Then he's gonna squat down, hip goes below knee. That would be a no rep because he didn't hit the target. There we go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Good.
5.
So hip goes below the knee. If he drops the ball, he cannot catch it on the bounce. The ball has to come to rest before he picks it up. So you can't do the bounce catch right into the wall ball. You must stand up at full extension before you start the wall ball. Hip must go below the knee, ball must hit the target. Questions about a wall ball?
So to clarify, could I pick up the wall ball from, like, squat down, pick it up, and then go straight up into the throw? I have to stand up, then squat.
So you could clean it. You could come up, clean it, and then go into it.
Okay,
So,
That's
no
a
rep.
got it.
Pull-ups. So pull-ups are just start hanging from the bar. That's fine. In whichever one's comfortable. Good. You can do strict pull-ups. You don't have to do chest to bar, but you can. You can do kipping pull-ups. It's been a long time since he's done those.
2,
Or butterfly.
2, 3, chin up, 4, 5, good.
Good. What the judge is looking for is starts with the arms straight. It finishes with the chin above the bar. Just a standard pull-up. Questions? Good. Easier than I thought. All right, last one is we're going to go to muscle-ups. We'll get these ones over here. The ring standards will be the same. The ring standards will be the same for everybody. We're going with an 88-inch ring. That is actually the setting for teams for regionals. So that's going to be tall for some people, short for other people. It is what it is. Okay. So on the muscle-ups, you must start with dead hang, arms straight. It must finish with full extension at the top with the shoulders over the arms.
Does not have to show.
Does not have to show at the bottom, as long as it comes down to full extension at the bottom. One thing at the top, this is especially for these guys that do them pretty quickly, you got to make sure you come to full extension with shoulders here, not here. A lot of times when you're speeding them up, they'll go here and push out. You want to make sure you're extended over the rings before you come down.
So I'll be looking from the side, looking for that shoulder to be in line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good.
You can do them as kipping muscle ups, but you can also